Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Parker Budding. I am an account executive here at Forest Admin, and today we're joined by Qonto, who's going to speak with us about how they've unlocked 20% productivity growth using workspaces within Forest Admin. And I am joined by their head of operations engineering, Ali El Alaoui, who I'll let introduce himself and Qonto.
Hey, Parker. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Ali. I'm head of operations engineering at Qonto, and I've been working there for about 3 years now. We've been using Forests for I think about 6 years, and I'm here today to present you a bit what we can do with it and what we've been doing with it.
Awesome. Lovely that you're able to join us. So let's actually learn a little bit about Qonto as well.
Absolutely. Qonto is a financial solution and a bank for businesses that launched in 2017, and that was launched by Steve and Alex. It has now more than 400,000 customers in 4 countries all over Europe. And we employ about 1,300 people, same all over Europe, and also I think a bit overseas. We recently joined forces with the German fintech that is Penta, in order to strengthen our European presence in digital business and finance. And as of today, and as it's always been, we're absolutely customer obsessed, and we're always focusing on the NPS, on the CSAT, and every indicator that allows us to know that we're doing a good job with our customers.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. And I know you wanted to talk about 3 main topics that really help you guys get there and hit those important metrics.
Absolutely. As I said, we have been partnered up with Forest for almost 6 years. 6 years now. I personally had the pleasure of being part of those 3 of those years. We had the chance to evolve with Forest, which has always been very responsive and actively listening to our needs. Multiple features have been shipped since then. All had an impact on our operations, but in the interest of time, we will be focusing on the 2 core features that I would like to talk about, and 1 special features that allowed us to really take our operations to the next level. So the two main features are data visualization. Sorry, I always have trouble with that word, and availability. Having easy access and readability of data is absolutely paramount to the success of our operations, especially in a sector as complex and regulated as the banking sector. Secondly, the segments and basically the possibility to bucketize or transform our records into buckets, being able to slice our data and records easily in order for our users to monitor their processes. That's absolutely key as well. And cherry on top, the workspaces. That is one of the latest features from Forest that I personally think is really smartly conceived, and it's basically what I like to call the safety wheels equivalent for our processes' success. And we'll have the chance to see that a few slides over.
Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to hear about all of that. So let's go ahead and just kick off and start looking at data availability and visualization.
Absolutely. We try to have the best-in-class customer care in all aspects of communications and support that we can bring to our customers. This means we have to answer well and we have to answer fast. And in order to be able to do that, we need to have immediate access and easy access to a customer's cockpit so that we can tackle any problem of any nature that he or she presents to us. And the cool thing with Forest is that you have the possibility to personalize your views or layouts, as you call them in Forest, however you want it. This means that I can show in the right place over the screen in the right information that I know is relevant to the right case. And with time and experience, we've learned to display the right information exactly at the right place for any right team. And that's the other positive aspects, and the other cool aspects of the layout customization is that you can do it by team. So you can have your functional teams, your functional needs laid out by, well, need, and you can customize their layout depending on what they need in terms of information. So you prioritize and you optimize the access to information, so you don't have only one layout. So yeah, being able to show what needs to be shown to each team is really key to the success of operations.
And I can imagine, especially with, compliance being so important, being able to be as quick and as fast as possible and having that information available is a huge benefit to you guys.
Absolutely. We don't talk about that in this slide specifically, but in terms of compliance, we also have problems related to access to that information. And same thing, Forest allows us to limit or gain access to that information depending on your role, depending on your team, and depending on how and where you access that data. So in terms of compliance, that helps a lot as well.
Well, I don't want to, spoil too much what's coming up. So let's just go ahead and pop over to segmentation or bucketization, as you call it.
So yeah, operational processes at Qonto are often very complex and come with multitude of steps and often branch out into huge decision trees. So the ability to monitor these processes efficiently is really important for Qonto. So being able to split our records, being its clients, being its transfers, card transactions, as accurately as needed, gives us the possibility to monitor every step of the process and act upon that information much faster than we would without it, by the way. And it goes from following the advancements, for example, of a transfer. Okay, it has been created by a client, it's processing, it's being reviewed, it's completed, or following the onboarding process of a client in order to ensure its conversion, for example. So being able to say, hey, this client just opened the register with Qonto, now he's uploading his documents, and now he's we're reviewing his case, etc., etc., etc. And knowing at which point is which client or which transfer is which point, etc., is really important for us to really quickly pinpoint the potential bottlenecks or any potential issues in our operations.
Amazing. And you've been able to customize this so it's unique to you and each team?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As of any customization, basically with Forest, and that's also one of the cool things, is customizable by team. So if, for example, such a segmentation doesn't have an impact or isn't required for one team, we could just not show it to that team.
Oh, that's amazing. So I guess it might be worthwhile to kind of show, in the workspaces how that's benefited that customization as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, Workspace is the cherry on top of the two previous core features or core functions of Forest. In particular for processes that can be very heavy and complex, not only to perform, but also to learn for users, the Workspaces bring a global solution. It's one allows for users and, let's say, administrators of Forest to embed instructions of any kind into the workspace. So basically it's just basically, as you can, like in real life examples, you have the door and you have push written on it. So it's basically the equivalent of that. You have the process on one hand and you have the different buttons and information you need to carry out that process. This not only reduces training time, as the Forest workspace becomes its own trainer in some sort of way, but also this allows the user to focus his efforts on the real added value, which would be, for example, an investigation on a fraud case, or being able to fetch such and such information for a client, rather than just being sure that you're copying the right ID and pasting it in the correct field or whatever. So, for example, in the compliance processes of checking the credentials of a company, we need to check multiple aspects of a potential lead to validate the profile. And having a workspace allows you to check all that information in one go. That's, we can check that actually in a quick demo that I can share my screen with.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to go ahead and share your screen and just show us it in action, that'd be great.
Absolutely, let's do that. Here, I'm just showing like a mock validation process. It's the first step of a process, let's say. So we have here the records that are pending. We have some useful links, for example, to a Notion page that would show how the process works, an annex process, a tool that is used on a Tableau, and here I have my backlog. I already know that I have 2 records pending, so I'm starting. I'm an agent, I'm starting. I click on the first record, and right away I have all the informations and all the actions I need that are related to that record. I know what's its status. I know what are the related objects to that records, like for example, in this case, the bank account or the memberships that are in this organization. I can right away click on those memberships and have following documents and users that are related to those memberships on one click away, and still have the actions that are related to that. And that's like really makes it like the fact that we have only one page, that we don't need to scroll away. We don't need to literally just wait for the loading page, the loading between 2 pages or 2 records that we usually have before Workspaces. This allowed us, and also the fact that you only display information when you click on a record, and that information is necessarily related to the record. It means that manual error is virtually impossible, and that is really a good step and the right way for Qonto's operations.
I can imagine that, without having all this information available, it'd be a lot more manual to get through all this, and would take a lot more time.
Yeah, of course. Well, technically, like it's possible, of course, but you'd have like to always be copy pasting IDs from one object to another. You'll always have to have like 10 web browser tabs opened and navigates between them, which of course brings and naturally brings a lot of manual errors into the process, and this allows to limit them. Maybe not delete them altogether, but at least limit them in a very effective way.
I can definitely imagine that is very crucial to your operations.
Oh yeah, no, in banking, errors can be fatal.
Perfect. Well, do you have anything else to show on the demo, or shall I go ahead?
We're all good. So yeah, I can give you back the screen.
Perfect. All right, awesome. Can you see my screen? Let me go ahead and bring this up. So, that was just a quick introduction into what Workspaces can do. And thank you so much for giving us a demo, because it's, sometimes hard to imagine having that much customization at your fingertips. And we've talked about 3 main topics, really, that access to visual data, that bucketization, and those embedded processes. But I'll let you go ahead and wrap it up if you'd like.
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically that mixing these 3 aspects, like having easy access to data, having the possibility to easily also slice this data as we want and bucket them as we want, allowing for monitoring, and having that in a new feature, in a new object that is the workspace, like really allowed us to really take our operations to the next stage. And like one maybe aspect that I didn't mention, but all of that is customizable easily by non-technical people. And that's one of the key aspects I'd like to mention as well. Of course, like there is a technical framework around Forest, but one of the key aspects that's helped us along the way, especially in operations, is that you don't need like to actually code or push a merge request or something like that. Everything is easily doable directly in the UI, and that's one of the things that helped us unlock these productivity gains.
So that you can include operations, it's drag and drop, and you can really, let your developers work on what they need to work on.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
It's been a
um,
pleasure, Parker. Thank you.
and letting us listen to your story, and how we've worked together, and how Qonto has been successful, and how you guys are growing. I appreciate it, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar today. And I look forward, to see what else Forest Admin and Qonto will do in the future. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Parker.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.